Hello everyone, my name is Mishal and me and my teammates are going to discuss our biometrics. As you can see that the biometrics term is derived from the Greek word bio, which we all know means life, and metrics to measure. Biometrics is a tool to measure the physiological and behavioral characteristics of a human person. It was widely used in the 14th century in China for collecting the fingerprints of the merchants uh, to settle business transactions and their offsprings to identify them from others, to differentiate them from others. In 1870, Bertillon developed Bertillonage, a method of identifying individuals based on the detailed records of their body measurements, physical descriptions, and photographs, such as the birthmarks on our bodies, scars, or tattoos, or anything that sets us apart from another individual. In 1892, Sir Francis Galton develops a classification system for fingerprints. The characteristics that Galton used to identify individuals are still used today. As we all know, biometric system for fingerprints is widely used nowadays when we check into our offices or work uh, area. There are still fingerprints biometric system used. There are two types of biometrics: physiological biometrics and behavioral biometrics. Physiological biometrics, the widely used fingerprint and then hand, iris scan, face recognition, DNA. In behavioral recognition, we have the keystrokes, signature, and voice. History of biometrics. The history of biometrics originated back in 1981 to identify criminals' fingerprints to be analyzed and stored. Since then, this practice happens all over the world. However, now biometric authentication has not just become important but are welcomed in all aspects of our lives. Biometric measurements also have evolved from only fingerprint and now different parts of our body, such as finger vein, palm vein, iris scan, voice recognition that we wisely used in our iPhones nowadays, such as Siri, facial recognition, brain waves, heart signals, DNA identification, and behavior biometrics. Breaking the barriers of use only in criminal identification, biometrics is now evolved to personal security level and reach to cloud computing as well. It helps us change our lives, reforming manual tasks into automation and providing that extra layer of security. It is not only affecting our lives only as an individual, but also as a community and even as a species in the environment.
The top benefits for biometrics, or also the advantages of biometrics, is it improves security, improve customer experience, its accountability, scalability, flexibility. It's efficient, cannot be forgotten or lost, and it also reduces operational costs. The challenges of biometric is physical traits are not changeable, it's cost, it's unhygienic, physical disability is hard to manage, additional hardware integration, environment and usage can affect measurements, systems are not 100% accurate and cannot be reset once compromised. Behavioral biometrics is measurable patterns in human activities. The first is keystrokes, which are patterns from our fingertips. Signature is from our hand movement, and voices is from the ecosystem of our voice.
An application used by businesses is biometric security. Leading providers are Voice Biometrics Group, also known as VPG, Typing DNA, BioKey International, Ipsity Incorporation. Another application used will be border control and airport biometrics. Leading providers are Integrated Biometrics, Iris ID, SecuGen, NEC, as well as CMI Tech. Financial biometrics leading providers are IDX Biometrics, BioKey International, CrossMatch, as well as Precise Biometrics.
Leading providers in healthcare biometrics: FaceFi,
is a company that provides software that allows access to specified access or approval with a picture of yourself, eyes, voice, and electronic signature. Edemia makes a software that provides allowed, secured, authenticated, and verifiable transactions for clients from financial, telecom, identity, public security to LOT sectors. Aware is a software that establishes algorithm and collaborative support with face, iris, voice, and fingerprint biometrics. Index Biometrics is a provider of biometric identification and fingerprint sensor solutions. Justice and law enforcement biometrics, their leading providers are Supreme, which controls access, time, and attendance solutions, fingerprint live scanners, mobile authentication solutions, and embedded fingerprint modules. Edemia, as I said before, a software that allows secure, authenticated, and verifiable transactions for clients. Paxton provides cost-effective, high-technology election, identity, and self-service solutions to the governments and corporations. Cross-match solutions are for a variety of security surveillance programs that protect people, property, privacy, and they include fingerprint and palm scanners and facial recognition, iris capture systems, document readers, software, and related services. For mobile biometrics, their leading providers are BioRugged, which provide the client with the ability to lock down, in this example, an Android device with their face using facial biometrics to prevent any user without access with a locked out. FaceFi, as I said before, is a software that provides access to specified approval with a picture, your eyes, voice, and electronic signature. Aradir Mobile Inc. helps individuals feel safe while performing routine activities such as exchanging emails, texting, and financial transactions. FaceText provides its main usage provides facial examination.
Uses of biometrics. Although there are many uses for biometrics, some of those include for law enforcement and public security, healthcare, civil identification, physical and logical access, and commercial applications. These are only a few of the uses of biometrics, since there are many others. Law enforcement. Here we're going to talk about biometric systems which aid law enforcement. These include mobile identification, criminal ID solutions, fingerprint recognition, and access control systems. Some examples of these are when somebody gets booked into jail, they take the person's fingerprints in order to identify them and make sure they don't have the wrong person in their system. Another example is when they are examining a crime, they use the fingerprints to find the suspect. Public safety. Biometrics is used to ensure the safety of the public. It is used across the world to prevent crime, to locate missing children. It is used in airports to identify suspects. It is used by forensic investigators and for speaker verification. An example of this is that voice biometrics works by digitalizing a profile of a person's speech to produce a store model voice print or template. This is how the voice verification works. Biometrics is basically a way to measure a person's physical characteristics to verify that person is who they say they are. Some of these include physiological traits such as fingerprints and eyes, or even their behavior, how they act, how they carry themselves. Here we share some fun facts about how biometrics is used in a person's daily life. And 90% of people around the world say they're ready to use biometrics identification processes. Although this is true, the majority, 61%, would use it to unlock their phones while others envisioned paying in store and online. Did you know that India houses the most ambitious biometrics database in the world? Aadhaar, which has so far gathered fingerprints, iris scans, and photos of more than 500 million citizens, many of whom had no prior proof of their identity. With this, it is easier to identify a person rather than having to look up or maybe in a book or not even have an idea of who somebody is, which makes it easier for that person to make up a whole new identity in order not to be captured or be recognized by somebody else.